Listen, Wednesdayites, something's stirring behind the scenes, and it's got the whole fan base buzzing. The kind of rumour that splits opinion on the terraces and fires up the cop. Some will love it, some will hate it, but no one's going to shrug this one off. And the best part, the full story is even messier than it first looks. If you're owls through and through and want the truth before it breaks wider, make sure you're subscribed and give the video a like. Stick with me, because what's coming next could be massive for Wednesday. Horvath arrived in August under unusual circumstances. Wednesday were granted special dispensation to bring him in on loan after Pierce Charles picked up that injury. At the time, it felt like a sensible short-term fix. Horvath had experience in Norway, Belgium, the Championship. He'd been around big moments, it all lined up. But here's the twist. 16 appearances later, and the verdict? Mixed. Some steady moments, some shaky ones, and never quite the authority you'd expect from a keeper trying to nail down a long-term role. And now, with Charles fitting straight back into the starting XI at Blackburn, Horvath's been benched again, 2 games in a row, watching from the sidelines. So when reports from the States suggest he's eyeing a move to MLS, are we really shocked? And to be fair, regular minutes in MLS probably do more for his USA national team hopes than sitting behind a teenager here. The 2026 World Cup is on home soil. He'll want to be part of that picture. Add to that, he's never actually played in MLS despite being a capped American international. There's logic in going home and playing consistently. But here's the bit Wednesday fans should really think about. If Horvath leaves in January, what happens next? Because as promising as Charles is, he's still young. You can't expect him to shoulder the whole season, not when the club are fighting relegation from a starting point of -9. Wednesday need another senior goalkeeper. Not a luxury, an absolute necessity. But the off-field chaos makes that a challenge. You've got administrators trying to secure a buyer. You've got uncertainty in every direction, and that instability filters into football decisions sooner or later. So ask yourself this. If Wednesday can't bring in another experienced keeper, are they putting too much pressure on Charles at the exact moment he should be protected? Some will argue Horvath hasn't done enough to warrant keeping him at any cost. Fair. But letting him go without a replacement lined up feels reckless. And Cardiff? They're flying, they're stocked with keepers, and reintegration there is basically off the table. So if Horvath moves, it won't be back to Wales, it'll be a fresh start somewhere else. Here's where I stand. Wednesday should try to keep him until the summer, not because he's been outstanding, not because he's the long-term answer, but because, right now, stability matters more than perfection. Charles needs competition and guidance, and Wednesday need depth in a season where every decision carries weight. But maybe you see it differently. So tell me this. Should Wednesday fight to keep Horvath until the end of the season, or is it time to let him go and fully back Charles, even with the risks? Drop your thoughts in the comments, especially if you've watched every minute Horvath's played, and before you head off, make sure you're subscribed, join the conversation, and stay part of this community. We'll keep pushing for clarity, accountability, and a club that deserves better than the chaos surrounding it. Let's keep the conversation going.